Hey book lovers, Kaylee here and welcome back to the Enchanted Library. I feel like I haven't filmed a video in so long, but I think it's really only been a couple of weeks because I pre-filmed a couple of videos, but I'm back and I'm so happy, and it's already a couple weeks into February, which is insane. But I kind of ended up doing the same thing this month that I did last month, where I am reading currently 2 books at a time. So I thought, how about another video about what I am currently reading? But just before I get to that, I wanted to tell you guys a little thing that I've been working on. So I have been seeing reading vlogs for so long, and there is one YouTuber by the name of Read by Zoe, and she does these 24-hour readathons, and I have been really intrigued to do one of my own. So this coming weekend is actually the long weekend in Ontario because Monday the 19th is Family Day. So I figured, why not use that Sunday, February the 18th, to do a 24-hour readathon. And I am so excited because it's gonna happen. I have a couple of friends that are coming over to my place for the day, and we are just gonna have like a read party. And I'm super excited. We're gonna have snacks, we're gonna have some challenges, so be sure to follow me on other social media as well, because I will be keeping everybody up to date on those. One is Twitter. So my handle is always in the description down below, but so that way you know, my Twitter handle is @KayleeZ, so that is @KayleeZ. 2 is Instagram, because I want to be posting pictures all day as well as part of the challenges that my friends and I are sort of building up. And my Instagram is Kale_1988. So that is KAYL_1988. And I'm really excited. There is a hashtag as well that I want to use, and that is #EnchantedReadathon, because it's the Enchanted Library, so I feel like an Enchanted Readathon is the way we should go. And I have many books on my TBR that I can use as part of my readathon TBR, but I have still yet to pick out my definitive list. So we shall see how that goes, but I am super excited. So be sure to stay tuned on this channel, because I will also be filming it and posting it hopefully the week after. And now that that is out of the way, let's get into what I have been currently reading. Book number 1 is actually a book that I picked up a long time ago. It came out in 2011 and I picked up the paperback. I actually have the first edition paperback of it because I picked it up so soon. But I left it on my TBR for a very long time because it is such a beloved story and there was so much hype surrounding it. I was scared that it wouldn't live up to the hype. But since it is coming out in theaters soon, I need to get on it. I need to read it because I need to compare book versus film. It is something that I did a fair amount of on my website, but I mean, sometimes it's easier just to chat these things through as opposed to writing them down. So I am gearing up for a massive compare and contrast, because it's fun to do that with book to film adaptations, because normally 98% of the time the book is better, and I want to see if that happens this time. Anyway, the book that I am talking about is Ready Player One! Woo! And that is by Ernest Cline. So if you don't know what this book is, I don't know where you have been ever. It is basically a futuristic sci-fi novel where the world has gone to crap. Everybody is living in not the best situation, but the good thing about it is that technology is amazing and people can live in this reality world called the Oasis, and more people want to live in that world than the real world. So, I mean, you can imagine all of the chaos that can ensue. And I guess if you don't really know a lot about this book, I'll give you a quick little rundown. It follows our lead, Wade Watts, who is a teenager living in the real world but always wanting to escape to the Oasis. And I mean, I guess I don't really blame him for that. But the creator of the Oasis, James Halliday, actually passes away, And part of his will and testament is that he has hidden within the oasis an Easter egg, and that Easter egg is billions of dollars to whoever finds it. And so Wade takes it upon himself to actually go after this Easter egg, which people have been searching for a couple of years after James's death, and it still hasn't been found. But there are a couple of clues that you get leading up to actually finding the final Easter egg, and Wade finds the very first one. So his whole life ends up sort of changing because of it, because everybody is after that money. Greed is not a thing that goes away apparently in the future, which, are we surprised? Probably not. But yeah, so I have started this book. I am, how far? I'm about 77 pages in, which really isn't far, but it's kind of a thicker read so far right now, wherein it's building the world a lot. Like, it's still building the world, and I'm 77 pages in, which is kind of overkill. Like, I get it, I get the world, I'm happy to be in the world, give me some action. Like, I love an adventure book, and it's very hard to find a really, really good adventure book that's not just full of tropes and just junk. I even find it hard to find adventure movies that I like, but I just want this to be a sci-fi adventure so bad, and I know it gets there, it just hasn't gotten there yet, which bums me out. But we're right on the precipice of getting into it, so I just need to hunker down and finish reading this. I know once it gets going, I'm just going to eat it all up and love it. Well, at least I hope I'll love it, and be ready and fully prepared for the movie coming out. So yes, the first book that I am currently reading in February is Ready Player One. The second book I have been reading is another one that's actually taken me a little bit to get into. I mean, I've seen it in so many, like, in the background shelves of so many videos, and it keeps popping up on my chapters app, and I keep meaning to read it because the third one comes out this year, and there's 2 in the series so far, and I want to read it, and I want to see what it's about, and the cover is amazing, and I just really like the era that it's set in. But the book that I am talking about is Stalking Jack the Ripper, and that is by Carrie Maniscalco, and she is actually writing under the imprint of James Patterson. I'm not a big James Patterson fan. I haven't read a lot of his stuff, and the fact that he has an imprint was completely new news to me until I saw this book. So it's kind of interesting how authors are doing that now. I know Rick Riordan has an imprint as well, but that's a little bit too young for me. Anyway, with Stalking Jack the Ripper, I'm kind of having the same issue as Ready Player One, wherein it's taking me a while to get into the actual book. Now, so far, I don't feel like the characters are fully well established yet, and I am currently on page 69. I don't feel like the main character really has her voice figured out yet, and that might just be because this is the author's first novel, but I don't really want to make that an excuse. Basically, what I've been able to figure out so far about this book is that the main girl is basically a trope. She really wants to be a modern girl in 1888, and it's not happening for her. She wants to dress up like a boy and attend classes about dissecting bodies and learning all of this stuff, but I mean, it's more telling me these things instead of letting me feel them on my own. So it just hits you over the head with the fact of she wants to be a modern girl. It hits you over the head with the fact that there's a lot of 1800s lingo in here that just doesn't seem natural. Like, you can have a period piece, like you can have a Victorian era book, but not make it sound so fake. Like, it doesn't seem natural to me so far. And the actual, some parts of the books, as of right now, I'm having a hard time with. So I think I'm going to be doing a full review of this book once I'm done, because I do have a lot to say even right now when I'm not even 70 pages in, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody. And I do genuinely want to see how this goes. I did pick up the second book in the series because I was so invested, thinking that I would love this book. But we shall see. Like I said, I am still only 70 pages in, so you never know what can happen. It might completely turn a corner and I might end up falling in love with it. But as of right now, it's taking me a bit to get into. So those are the two books that I'm currently reading for February, and I plan on finishing those either during my readathon or before my readathon, so that way I can move on to other books. For my readathon, tentatively, I am going to say I've got a couple memoirs that I would like to go through, and then a couple of other books that I kind of just want to plow through because I've got my TBR shelf over here now, and I'm looking at it, and I've got a lot of books, and I think that this is a good way to get through a couple of them. So please be sure to join me on Sunday, February the 18th for my readathon, the Enchanted readathon, and let me know what you guys are going to be reading. Submit in the comments below, send me pictures on Instagram, tag me, use the hashtag Enchanted readathon, and yeah, just read. I mean, you don't even have to do the full 24 hours. You can sleep like a normal person and then get up and read for a few hours, but I just want to promote more reading. And that is it for today's video. So be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and most importantly, until next time, keep reading.